Siyám, my name is Sxwpilemaát Siyám, also known as Chief Leanne, that's my given English name. I come from the Lackett family of the Squamish Nation. I am one of 16 hereditary chiefs of the Squamish Nation. I'm the first female chief ever in my family on my father's side. And I also descend from the Thomas family of the Sxwpilemaát community, our sister nation, on the beautiful shores of North Vancouver. I'm also a descendant of the Kwakwaka'wakw-speaking people on the east coast shores of Vancouver Island, specifically settler towns known as Comox, Courtenay, Campbell River. So I have relations all over the West Coast. Or as a keynote speaker at this amazing event, it is a beautiful opportunity to share some of what I'm being curious about, some of the knowledge, my lived experience, and connect with both Indigenous peoples from across this beautiful territory and beyond, as well as industry and corporate sector and businesses alike, to talk about my passion. In short, it was economic reconciliation, but to go deeper into that is to talk about a transformed economic state in this country, and be curious and be mindful about the dreaming of Indigenous futures, and looking at generationally the impact of our decisions and governance and relationship and reconciliation efforts and actions towards that Indigenous future for the next generations, because it's more than likely not going to happen in my lifetime. The biggest impact is going to be on my son's generation and beyond, for my unborn grandchildren. Co-designing our future is literally us. You know, if we were talking about in a business sense, sitting at a table and redesigning and transforming that table, whether it's the kitchen table, a negotiations table, a governance committee, it doesn't matter. Whatever space we're holding, it is literally about how do we use two-eyed seeing currently to dream about that Indigenous future, and really look and delve deeper into the spaces necessary to redefine what wealth and well-being is for all generations to come. Without events like Nation2Nation and the forum and all of its other beautiful events like this that are Indigenous-led, built and driven, I don't think, create the deeper level of connection and relationship building that is necessary for about that Indigenous future that I'm talking about. It is without these spaces of that co-designing, that reciprocity, that relationship building, that learning and the unlearning, and be curious together. Without that, we aren't going to be the driving force behind what true economic reconciliation looks like in this country. What I would love to see, and what my call to action in a lot of places, is how do we co-design this with the next generation? How do we get youth at these tables? How do we have their voice uplifted? How is that shared in these spaces? I think is absolutely necessary, because as I move into, because I am a junior elder in the making, and as I move into elderhood, my husband and I always share with our son that we're just going to be sitting, being your champion, being your ally, being your cheer squad. We're going to be in the balcony rah-rahing for you when you take up this leadership space, and we're training you to do that. But we're just going to be the storytellers. We're not going to be the ones leading the work. And if we don't give the youth the opportunity to start learning and uplifting their voices and challenging all that is going on around them, I think we lose an opportunity as leaders today for the foundation in which we're building it for them. Because this is what true governance looks like in our own communities. And I think all of us, and in particular at events like this, when we have corporate citizens sitting in the chairs next to nation members, seeing that in play is really huge towards that future that I was talking about.